So, my good people, let me talk about some things from last night. There's a lot going on. I don't have notes or anything in front of me. I could pull up who did what last night, but I really don't need to. I just want to say last night's Dynamite. Okay. Now, Will Osprey. I want to talk about the stories that's going on. So, Will Osprey and Swerve Strickland fought to a time limit draw. Basically, towards this was kick out after kick. This is one of those matches, man. Like I just felt that before it even started, this is going to be one of those matches, and this was one of the, man, the awesome shit, man. I love the fact that you get pay-per-view quality matches on a Collision, on a Dynamite. That is beautiful, man. So, anyways, Swerve was getting ready to do how he do the double stomp off the top rope, but at this point, Osprey landed on the side outside the ring, or the apron, and the time expired. Now, I just felt when that happened, like the Death Riders are coming out, and they did come out. And they started attacking them, and John Moxley's talking his shit, letting them know, if you're not ready, if you come in there and you're just that much off your game, you're not gonna win. So anyway, now he's doing this. I like where his storyline is went, and I understand what's happening. And if you're a WWE fan, just tune out, because you guys just don't have anything in between your goddamn ears to understand. But anyway, look at, like, for example, I'm telling you what's happening right now. Okay. Osprey and Swerve are close friends. Osprey's position is he's trying to wake Swerve up and get him to understand. And he's trying to wake Hangman up, like, yo, you guys are good dudes, man. You had your shit in the past. You both were heels at one point. You both have done a lot of dirty shit to somebody, but hey, now you're changed men, right? The Death Riders are a group. Moxley is not going to fight you alone. At some point, they're going to get involved. Because even if he gets disqualified and he loses, he still keeps the title. The idea is to take the title off him. So I need you two on the same page. And so what happened, now mind you, it used to be the Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Cody. Maybe a lot of people forget that. So the Bucks, assisting Hangman, this is like stemming back from when he was a heel. But now he's like changed from that heel persona, right? So them trying to help him out, right? It's not so much of them helping John Moxley. They only helped, John Moxley to prevent Swerve from getting the belt, because Hangman said as long as he's alive, he will never let Swerve become champion. He don't want to see him as champion. So the Bucks helped Moxley to defeat Swerve. Okay, once again, just so Adam Page get that shot. So that's what that's about. But the Bucks is still heel, and Hangman Adam Page isn't. Now, basically, they came out, they got involved, they started beating down Swerve. Osprey's already beat up on outside the ring. So they handcuff Swerve to the ropes. They start super kicking him. Now they go put those sneakers on with the thumbtacks in. And when they went to go to give him the super kick, Osprey jumps in front of Swerve and take the kick. Now at this point, Swerve is feeling like, what the fuck? Because they're in there beating the shit out of each other. But look at who's standing tall. The Death Riders and the Bucks. So now, when Swerve is not handcuffed and they're backstage, and they have this little backstage segment where they were in this room, you didn't even know they were there. But Hangman is being interviewed, and he's telling the Bucks to stay out of his business, stay out of Osprey's business, and he said, stay out of Swerve's business. Because here's the thing that I like. See, this is the difference with AEW storytelling. They hit the grown-up shit. Because here's what's happening. As much as Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland are like, can't stand each other, the things they've done to each other, okay, it's like at some point, as a good person, you can override your dislike for somebody, and you can actually learn to love or even like a person, to like or even love a person. Because it's like, what is it about this person that you don't like? What happened? What happened that you can't put this aside? This like applies to real life. See, this is what I'm saying. WWE fans like that little rinky-dink circus bullshit. They like that little cartoon, little child. You're fighting over bracelets. That's my bracelet. It's mine. Give me my bracelet back. You know, so you got the CM Punks of the world beefing with, you know, wrestling with Drew McIntyre, who the fuck over fucking bracelets and shit and stuff like that, and fucking Ula Fowlers, and yet, even though I got the Ula Fowler back, I'm still not the fucking head of the table, and I take a hiatus and disappear. So anyway, that's the kind of shit that y'all don't understand. Y'all like that little silly, goofy shit. So now what's happening is, when I forgot who the hell went back in that room and said, was it Mike Bailey? Somebody, I think was it Speedball? Somebody came out and was like, "Are you hearing this?" And Swerve was in the back. They had one of the medics back there, like, you know, working on Osprey, and they were in the back in that room. And he goes, "I see exactly what's going on." So it's like Swerve is starting to realize that Hangman Adam Page isn't his enemy. Hangman Adam Page is starting to realize the same thing, that Swerve is not my enemy. We had our past, and that's the thing. It's like somebody has things in the past that they've done, right? But they're criticizing this person for what they've done, overlooking their own, you know, demons and shit. And then vice versa. And then it takes somebody to try to play the middle. Hey, man, they're trying to bring y'all together. So I said, I think ultimately what's going to happen is Swerve, Hangman, and fucking Will Osprey is going to realize we need to stick together. That's why Willow gets involved to take care of Marina Shafir. It's like superheroes, man. It's like you got this, you know, you got the Marvel Avengers, you know, and you got Thanos. You got all these, you know, you got your opposition. You got, you know, these other villain groups that, hey, we got to stick together to beat these guys. And that's what this is. They're gonna. I feel like the closer we get to All In, they're gonna, at some point, even if it happens the night of All In, that they finally get on the same page. However, leading up to it, they're gonna at some point realize the only way Hangman beats Moxley, he has to have help, because he's not going to get Moxley one-on-one, because the Death Riders are going to interfere. And I also believe, I think Hangman's going to beat him. And I also believe Moxley is going to end up speaking, whether it's the following week on Dynamite, whether it's after the show, and it will probably, I would rather see it happen on Dynamite. That way he can cut a promo and everybody get to see it. But I believe Moxley's going to wind up cutting a promo about why he was holding the briefcase. I'm holding the belt in the briefcase. And it wasn't because he's against AEW. Or he's probably going to try. I love AEW. That's why I'm here. That's why I try to motivate everybody. But I think he's going to give one of those type of speeches where all of a sudden, all right, everybody love the Death Riders. They're no longer a heel fashion. That's probably what's getting ready to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. And even if it don't happen right away, Moxley, I feel like, will state his case so people understand. And he'll have his reason as to why he hid it in the briefcase, you know. And he'll probably say something like, as prestigious as this belt is, and as much as I love this belt, and I want people to understand what this company's about. And now we get, you know, however, I don't know what he's going to word it, but I believe he's going to give something, you know, to the people as to why he kept that belt in that briefcase, and that this belt need to be seen. It should be revealed for the world to see that this is the greatest wrestling company in the world, and blah, blah, blah. And this is what I've been waiting to see, is people in the back step up. People in the back want to be the AEW World Champion, not just a wrestling champion Because we know that when people at our contracts are up, like I said, what they do, they go run the WWE. We want to know that people want to be the AEW World Champion, not just a champion of a company, but AEW particularly. This is why we here. I believe Moxley's going to do something like that, and I don't know if he'll have his issues with the Bucks. Now the Bucks are outnumbered for sure, but yeah, the Death Riders as a whole, I don't know what's going to happen, man. Because I mean, we could see a return in Pac. You know, we don't know what's going on right now. We seen Hook come back a couple weeks ago. He came out and helped the Ops, but then he just left afterwards. And I felt like for him being replaced by Powerhouse Hobbs, he has an issue with that some type of way. You never know. You might see Pac come back and form. You know, who knows, man? What type of groups know what's going to go on? And this is just me saying this, but I'm saying I think that's what we're going to see happen. Something to that effect. I think Hangman Adam Page wins against Moxley, but he's not going to do it alone. You know, and I feel like for Osprey to take that kick for Swerve, that means more than them just winning the match against each other. See, this is about unity, and this is about people putting their bullshit differences aside and embracing each other as human beings, bringing out the good in each other, eliminating the wrong from your life. That's grown-up shit. That's what you WWE fans can't get into. You guys like these little Tinker Toy storylines. So that's what I love what I saw. Mercedes Moné, man. So Toni Storm, she beat Julia Hart, and Mercedes Moné is sitting out there eating dinner, drinking wine and shit. She's sitting there, you know, taking pictures on her cell phone and shit and all that. Now she comes out and she basically goes, you guys don't know when Toni Storm is sniffing them, that's like that I smell your fear type thing. So Mercedes Moné does that to her. I read in the fucking article somebody said somebody said Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm was kissing. She gave it a kiss. That might they didn't kiss, asshole. She kissed Mina Mara, whatever. Mina. I know I always butcher that woman's name, her last name, but she kissed her like they're friends or whatever. She used to do that to Mariah May, whatever. But she didn't kiss her, man. She did that I'm smelling your fear thing, but then she grabs her head and slams her back. She starts attacking her. Mina comes out for the save, and Mercedes gets out the ring. Then she gets in and attacks Mina, then attacks Toni Storm again. She, you know, holds the belt up. I believe Mercedes Moné is gonna win. I think she's gonna make history in such a huge way, man. And I don't give a fuck. Everybody want to talk about what other companies are doing. Like, I look at every show and say, okay, I look at the show for what it is, but there's no woman in professional wrestling. There's nobody in professional wrestling, male or female, right now that's doing things on the level that Mercedes Moné is doing it on. You know, all these belts she has right now and all these different companies. And I believe she's going to go into a match with Toni Storm undefeated. She's going to beat her. And like I said, it's going to be, this shit is going to get really interesting too. Also, I just think this is great, man. And I love Toni Storm's character as well. And what's happening, 4-time, AEW champion. And, that's the type of match that has to happen more than once. At some point, they're going to fight again. Now, it doesn't have to be right away, but however and when it happens, does Toni Storm win the rematch? I don't know. But I also read, and I'm looking forward to that, man. Like, that, definitely looking forward to that match. Also, I read that Adam Copeland is expected to return at All In. Now, I don't know if that's the case. People assume a lot of things and they'll say things. But I heard that he will be medically cleared by that time. And if he returns at All In, whatever match FTR will be booked in it, because right now we don't have them booked for anything that we know of. But I believe his return would be to, help whoever FTR is fighting against or something to that effect. I don't think he's going to come out just to come out, and I don't think he's going to come out just to, address the people. I mean, that's a long way to come, just to come out and then really do nothing. If he did come out, FTR would probably come out and interfere, but I think it would be a more interesting situation if they're in there doing something and they're getting the best of someone. I don't know, maybe the match is over, or whatever, something's going on, and then all of a sudden Adam Copeland's music hit and he comes running out and he gets involved, and it's, I feel like that would be more impactful. But he's expected to come back for All In. Now, I also read an article that Camille is still under contract with AEW, but Camille has actually been filming. She's filming another movie she's in. So Camille is actually still contracted and expected to return to AEW. Now, hopefully, that's the way it works, because I love seeing Camille wrestle. And the thing about that, too, is like there's no reason for Tony Khan to talk about these things to people outside of, unless somebody asks a question. But the problem when you answer certain questions is like something that could be a surprise, because that's the whole thing. I don't like when they announce ahead of time about somebody coming out, and because they do it hoping that will get people to watch, right? That's why companies do that. But when it's a surprise and it comes out of nowhere, it's so much more impactful, man. And I heard that, and plus too, that her name is now Camille Brickhouse, or Brickhouse Camille, whatever. They added that term Brickhouse to her name. So whether it's going to be Camille Brickhouse or Brickhouse Camille, that's the name that I read she's supposed to be going under, instead of just Camille. Now, they were already calling her the Brickhouse. That's what Mercedes referred to her as. What I didn't like about her and Mercedes together is how Mercedes was like bullying her around like she's some little soft, like some little softy. Like, come on, man. Camille is an enforcer, man. Camille is not, but she turned on Camille, and this was to lead to a feud. But I didn't think that was necessary at the time, and the reason is because, for one, I think it was too soon for Camille. Why? Because Mercedes is not going to lose, which means Camille is going to suffer a loss going forward in a way of what? Unless she loses by disqualification or something, or, because Camille didn't have any real significant wins under her belt. You understand? She didn't do what Megan Bayne did. You see what I'm saying? Megan Bayne came here and took names. Man, Megan Bayne is incredible, man. Like, she's in there doing like some like the overhead suplexes with two people, and I mean she's in there doing it, man. And they're doing it right. It's like, as a tag team, I tell people, Camille is not the one that's supposed to get pinned if they lose. It's really not. It's Penelope Ford. And you see what happened last night. So Ty Mello coming back, it's not cool for her to lose her first match back. So they end up Anna Jay, man. Good Lord. Anna fucking. Whew. All right, back to regularly scheduled programming. Damn. But so yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Damn, Anna Jay just, oof, boy, good Lord have mercy. But yeah, so they got the pin on Penelope Ford. Now, I do believe that Tony Khan has said, he was asked a question at the last media scrum about bringing back bringing a women's tag division. And I know they're talking about introducing a new title to the AEW, and that would definitely be it. Because as far as singles titles, they have enough single titles. They don't need any more singles titles. They have enough. You got your world championship, you got your international championship, your national championship. You have your TNT champion. And that's for the men. So for the females, you have your TBS champion, you have your Knockouts championship, and then, so yeah, yeah, and the fact that, like I said, if you notice, they're coming out dressed as a tag team. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Now, does it debut at All In? I don't know. After All In, I don't know when. But definitely tag team. The titles are coming for the women. And I think Megan Bayne, for now, she might be involved, definitely will be involved in the tag team division. Now, I don't know how long, what long-term, short-term plans are for her and Penelope Ford as far as the tag team goes, because if she wins a single title anytime soon, that would, we don't want to see Penelope Ford as a sidekick. We want to see her as a partner. You understand? And we want to see things happen where, the team is winning together. So, I believe that as far as the tag team women, they'll probably be the ones to win it. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, they'll probably be the ones to win it. And I definitely would be for that, because I do want to see, Penelope Ford's been in for a while as well in AEW. So I would definitely want to see them with some gold. Megan Bayne, I love Megan Bayne, man. Like, she comes out. Carmelo coming back to the mix. I think that will be the belts that they're going to bring in. Now, that all being said, too, is like with Camille, for her to come back, she needs like she didn't have, she basically was just there enforcing for, Mercedes Moné. But Camille is similar to Megan Bayne in the sense she's strong and has some size. She's not the biggest, because I do remember when she was face to face with Chris Statlander. Like, Chris is actually bigger than, she's actually bigger than Camille. Camille is tall, has some size on her. She's more leaned out, but she's, basically similar in that sense of being like a kick-ass type female wrestler. And she was more, when she was in NWA, I remember it was her, she was with Nick Aldis. They had a little group, and she was like a female enforcer there. She was more muscular back then than she is now. But when she became women's champion, I used to love watching her, man. You remember, she was the one I was talking about. Camille was the best women's champion that they had over there, man. And she was a badass over there. So when she came to AEW, I didn't mind the enforcer thing with Mercedes Moné. I just didn't like how, like, she was getting punked, man, and like Mercedes was talking to her like she was a child and shit, and you can't do anything right and all that. I was like, all right. So when Camille turned, I'm like, all right. So there's only right that she turns and put Mercedes in a place and shit. But this movie thing happened and all or whatever. So however, but that didn't go in. And matter of fact, she got attacked backstage. You remember? She was laid out backstage. So we don't know. Obviously Mercedes has something to do with that. Now, when Camille comes back, if they pick up that storyline, I think whoever attacked her, I don't know that it was Mercedes or like if a person, it would, put it to you this way. I don't think Camille should be her first if she was to come back anytime soon like that, because then Mercedes is not going to lose. So that makes you look weak, come back and lose your first match, or if Mercedes lose by disqualification or something to that effect, because Mercedes been a strong champion. She's been winning fair and square. That's the thing. She's a heel, but she's beating everybody fair and square. Whether people are paying attention to that or not, she's winning. She's winning. So she never needed Camille to win, okay? But she's winning matches fair and square. But Camille, now I was thinking, what if Camille comes out and calls Mercedes to lose? You see, I don't know when she's coming back. But I do know, but for me, I don't know, but I believe Mercedes is going to win. Now, when Camille does come back, right? Say, for example, she confronts Mercedes, right? Even if she was to put her hands on Mercedes, she's accusing her of taking her out or whatever. Whoever took her out, it may be the type of thing where Mercedes admit, yeah, I got you set up, right? But whoever did it, now I'm looking at who's in the AEW right now and who was there at the time when that happened. But it kind of wouldn't really make any sense to really pick up from that, unless it would be the type of thing where Mercedes can say, I did have something to do with it, but I wasn't the one who did it. Then the person who did it would come out. It wouldn't be no mystery of, let's try to find out. No, that person revealed themselves as who did it. And then that person ends up being in a feud with Camille. You understand what I'm saying? So Mercedes basically would have to let her know you can't just walk in here into a title shot. You gotta earn it. You understand what I'm saying? However it's gonna go. Okay? Or even if it's the type of thing where she confronts her and she tell her, yeah, I took you out, right? But they have it where, either they're separated by security or however it is, but she's telling her, yeah, and that was however long ago, but you got to earn it. You just walk in here, tell her, I brought you here, and whatever, and this and that, and you just think you're going to walk in here into a title shot. No, you got to prove, I got to earn it. And you do this and that, or you go out, you win. You earn a shot here, right? Or however it goes, right? And it could be the type of thing where she takes her up on that bet. The bottom line, she's going to get her hands on her because it's personal. It's more than just a belt. You understand what I'm saying? It has to be something to where, however it's done, where there's somebody in the way of her getting to Mercedes and she's having feuds with Mercedes. You understand what I'm saying? And even you could have a segment where somebody's telling her, I understand you want to get your hands on Mercedes, but there's other things for you out there. There's other, because mind you, Mercedes got the TBS champion as well. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the type of thing where she has to give up the TBS champion in order to being that she's the world champion. I don't know. We'll have to see. And there'll probably be a tournament for it if that does happen. But what I'm saying is with Camille, she can focus on her singles career. You understand what I'm saying? And then at some point, she's going to get her hands on Mercedes. Now, you see how in WWE, TNA, whatever, is always the type of thing where somebody's feuding and here comes Santino Marella with his little badge on and he's going to make this match, or, Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis comes out and, okay. Now, once in a while, not often, Christopher Daniels might have came out, or the Bucks, as the EVPs come out and they sanction a match or something or whatever. But see, I can live with or without that. But my thing with that is, see, this is what I'm saying, but people don't get it. AEW storytelling is not like childlike. They're not doing little kiddie stories. It's like when you're watching them, you get it. I really think the people that really are into WWE so heavily they just don't have the ability to understand more mature type style of storytelling. They just don't get it. They really don't get it. They really have to have this little play shit and just people talk about a bunch of nothing. It's like the video I dropped about CM Punk, the stupid story he told. He sat there and made a hypocrite out of himself. He sounded completely stupid. When I came back to WWE, I had a list of things that I wanted to accomplish, and winning that world championship wasn't one of them. Like I told you in the last video, this motherfucker stood here and told Cody he was going to take the title off. He needed that belt, right? Now, so you didn't want to be champion, but that's not what you told Cody Rhodes. And then it's like you're telling Cody the same shit you're telling John Cena now. You guys, it's like they recycle the same bullshit. You're saying the same thing. Only, remember how he was telling Cody that belt changes you, and tell him this belt starting to weigh him down, the responsibility of holding that belt and how it turns you to a different person. He's telling John Cena the same exact shit he was telling Cody. Only he told Cody he needs that belt. He's telling John Cena coming back, becoming a world champion wasn't one of the things on his list of accomplishments. Wow. But then he tells him he realizes to beat the monster, he has to become the same type of monster to beat him. Why are you trying to warn someone about becoming a monster, but you're going to do the same things? Now, you just said being a champion isn't one of them, but now, all of a sudden, you have to become the monster to take the belt off Cena. To do what? Now, you just sat here and said, I know what that belt does to you, right? So what's going to be so different for you? Then you're going to make John Cena apologize. Like, bro, come on, man. This is the type of goofy storylines y'all like, man. I don't mind humor in the storyline. I don't mind something being funny. No, I don't mind it. but make it interesting. This stuff they're doing is not even interesting, man. So, yeah, I'm loving what's going on right now, man. The Hurt Syndicate and the Hurt Syndicate. You know, they had their trios match, and like they're going to Mexico next week. So MJF is being an asshole on purpose because he wanted to get that heat when he comes out in front of that Mexican crowd, and he's going to fight Mystico over there. You know, he took the mask off. I forgot who he took somebody's mask off last night, and so yeah, you know that's the big thing over there in Mexico with the mask. So yeah, he's going to get booed heavily when he come out, and if you notice, you know, like because people cheer the Hurt Syndicate. And then they come out. Now, they'll fight anybody. Good guy, bad guy, whatever. But, you know, MVP has been getting more involved to get more heat now. But people just love the Hurt Syndicate. But they pretty much, you know, had a solid match in there, man. It was funny, man, you know, the way, like, Mystico, you guys know that used to be Sin Cara. And he told him that. Yeah, they call you some legend, but to me, you're nothing. He told him something, and then referenced him as Sin Cara. But it's funny, man, because, you know, when these guys go to Mexico, you know it's going to be like, it's going to be bananas. And, you know, CMLL is Mexico's oldest wrestling promotion, man. So I'm looking forward to that show to see how things go over there, man. And listen, let me tell you something, man. The one thing's for sure, that when I'm looking at the Hurt Syndicate is that Max being with them, he's gonna be like Bobby Lashley's a serious guy. Mike skill wise, he don't really talk much. He just right to the point and say what he's gonna say. Same with Shelton. They're not really as far like they're not known for their promos. MVP has always been their mouthpiece. But having MJF with them, he's gonna be like the colorful guy, the character of the group. To you know, he's gonna do shit, you know, and say shit that you know, he's gonna get a different reaction from the fans, you know. And so this is something I think a lot of people never imagined. I know I never thought of it, you know. And then when it happened, it's like, okay, so got that thumbs up, he's in there, man. But yeah, I mean the show, I'm not really gonna break down those. Just a whole lot of shit that happened last time. I'm not gonna remember every detail for sure, man. It was a lot. And you know, I got up first thing this morning, went out, did what I had to do. So I had a long, busy day. So I'm not here to break down the whole show. But I like what I saw. In fact, I'm about to go back in here and watch it now. And if I feel like making another video tomorrow about some other stuff involving the show, then I will. But yeah, man, this was yeah, it was solid, man. It was really solid. And you know, one thing I will say, oh yes, Tekla versus Queen Aminata. Queen Aminata is clean, man. Like her moves are so precise and clean, man. And like I've watched her improve. Like you can see her skills is like she's sharp, man. Tekla is tough as fuck though, man. It was funny when I saw them face to face because Queen Aminata is so much taller. She's bigger than her. And I'm just looking at her like, okay, Queen Aminata, man. Whew. But yeah, that match was solid, man. She was basically kicking Tekla's ass for most of that match too, man. And Tekla just doesn't take much, man. She hit it with that spear and King got in that whatever the fuck she called that move. She wrapped that fucking up, man. She's gonna tap. And yeah, I loved having Tekla as an. See, this is the thing that I always said, man. Pick wrestlers for your organization that can flourish. Not just a released person that comes over and then nothing special happens. This is why it was vital that Ricochet had a change in character. Because he never had any real character. When he was Prince Puma, you know, over in Lucha Underground, he was great as a wrestler. He always could wrestle, but he never had character. So when he was over here in WWE, you know, he never was really good on the mic or nothing. Now he has a character. So when he's speaking, right, he's speaking in character where you can hear he's even more confident in what he has to say. And he basically is an asshole. He's sarcastic, and so yeah, I watched the improvement in his character. The same with like Toni Storm. She didn't have a weak character, but she just put it like this: promo wise, there was nothing special about Toni Storm's character. She always was good. She could wrestle, but as timeless Toni Storm, man, she has a character. When she speaks, it's she has something to say. Just the Toni Storm gimmick of her coming out in the crowd cheering, it was nothing about her mic skills. It was nothing that she said or did that really was gonna really get anybody's interest any different, other than just it's Toni Storm and we like Toni Storm. Time is Toni Storm. Remember when she came out when she first came back after she lost the belt to Mariah May, and she came back? And remember when she came out dressed as the old Toni Storm? She got a cheer. They cheered for her because it was Toni Storm. But when she came out, you could see the cheer wasn't even, it wasn't the same. They loved the timeless Toni Storm character. And I always said, like, nah, man, no. When she came back, I'm like, okay. Me, myself, I'm telling you, I seen it, I'm just like, okay. All right. So I guess she's done with timeless Toni Storm. All right. I don't know why, but she played that right. And remember, she went back into told him to when she was in there with Mariah May. I think Mariah May came out and interfered or whatever. And she stripped down and just had it. She was like, you just watched the best performance and all that. And she's talking like timeless Toni Storm again. The crowd went bananas. And the very next time she came out, blew the roof off. Like, they loved the timeless Toni Storm character. See, and that's what I'm saying. And people that purposely don't want to talk about these great changes and the Kevin Knights of the world, the Nick Waynes of the world, the Kyle Fletcher. Like, I'm watching what they're doing with this young talent as well, man. And it's just like, yeah, man, like, look at what they're doing. Like, look at what they're doing with these people. And Toni Storm, I think, is only in her damn 20s as well, mid or late 20s as well. Tony's, all of them. These people are being put there. They're really working with them. I like with Nick Wayne. Look at where he was when he first came, and where he is right now. Now, let me say this too. A lot of people are speculating that when Adam Copeland comes back, that he's going to reunite with Christian and they're going to go after FTR. Now, I haven't seen anything in Christian that makes me think that he's going to change and all of a sudden help Adam Copeland. I don't know. Maybe Nick Wayne turns on Christian. I don't know. If the group turns on Christian, that could be a possibility that he ends up, and then Adam Copeland and him have a segment where he has his heartfelt talk and just wake him up to snap him out of it. And so that could happen, but that's going to have to happen before All In, or not necessarily, because he's not booked for All In, at least as of now. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm saying I don't know that this is going to happen, but people are speculating that he's going to team up with Christian. I think people would definitely be down to see them get together again, but I don't see him, for one, heel versus heel wouldn't be the same, because he's a heel, Christian, and him playing this role that he's playing, honestly, I don't think I want to see a face Christian again. Like, this version of Christian is the most entertaining he's ever been. And again, you see, this is what I'm saying, a whole nother character build. But we'll see. I don't know that that's going to happen. Like I said, people are speculating that. But just saying, for nostalgia, I know people would be cool, seeing the two of them team together again and all that. But even if they did go against FTR and win, okay, great. But in the long run, I don't know. We'll see. So I'm not telling you that that's happening, but that is a possibility. But I don't really see. I feel like this heel Christian, is on point, man. And what he's doing, if Nick Wayne, because you got to figure, Nick Wayne, his mom, and Kip Sabian, Luchasaurus is still out, kill switch now, but he's still out with whatever was wrong with him, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know, but I like this version of Christian way better. I read an article about Brian Cage saying that he's about to return back to AEW soon. I knew something had to happen. I didn't know what happened. I didn't even read the whole article, but I did remember seeing that he said he was about to return back soon. So there's some people that we haven't seen, and it makes a difference, man, when these guys are not there. And that's why you always have to, switch, have a plan B, C, D, because people get injured, man. Things happen. But yeah, it was another great show. And yeah, man, I really love what AEW is doing. And this was like, this was crazy, man. And one of the dudes I got to give props to, man, as well, too, man, is this guy's a workhorse. And he's entertaining, and he can still go, man. And that's Mark Briscoe, man, or Jay, which one is Jay or Mark? Well, Mark. Jay's the one that passed, right? Is it? Well, Briscoe. Let's just say y'all know what I'm talking about. I remember, but Briscoe, that dude, man, he's entertaining as fuck, man. And he goes in there, and he has a great match with every fucking body. Everybody this dude gets in the ring with, he has a great match with them. He just, he's that guy, man. And I like what he's doing. I remember when him and his brother got turned down by the WWE. They told them that they didn't, they don't got the type of look we're looking for, and this, that, whatever. And yeah, man, I like what he's doing over in AEW, man. And it's one of these things, man, where I watch these guys, I watch these women, I see what they're doing, and I look at what they were doing when they was, whether it was the beginning of AEW and they've been there for a while, or they were in WWE or TNA or somewhere else at one point, and I look at them, man, it's really like when you see what's happening and you see how a person progress and you see them evolve. I pay attention to these things. One thing I'll tell you is when you're full of hate and ignorance, you don't see these things. You don't pay attention because you're so busy trying to hate and tear things down. You don't see it. It's just like watching the weather change, man, and all the trees are naked. There's no leaves and shit, and all of a sudden you had those 2-3 days in a row where it rains really hard, and all of a sudden all the grass is grown and the trees, like, damn, all the leaves come. Like, wow, okay, summer's here. Summer's on the way. It's right. Everything looks so, you watch it change. You watch it. You just keep watching it happen. It's the same thing, man. Progress. You watch it, and you're trying to find, you just want to be entertained, man. And I'm really loving AEW, man. Like I said, man, I NWA, they got a deal with they have a streaming deal now, and hopefully that it helps them, Hopefully, we'll see. You never know, but we'll see. I'm not against any company growing, and fuck Hulk Hogan and Bischoff with that freestyle, but I won't be watching that shit. I don't support nothing Hogan. Anything Hogan's a part of, I fuck Hogan. But I'm saying because he's a scumbag of a human being, okay? But other than that, like I'm not fuck him and Bischoff. But yeah, I'm and listen, and let me say this too. All of you motherfuckers that think you can trust Triple H or you want to give Triple H a pass, Triple H sit there and glaze Donald Trump and talk about how he's a great human being. So for all the shit that's plaguing our people in this country, man, and fucking up our American citizens and making life harder for our elders and our senior citizens and all that, everything, and you sit up here and complain about Trump, you realize that Triple H see this motherfucker as a role model, as an idol. So how the fuck Triple H don't see it? And don't fucking open your mouth and say, well, we just referencing wrestling. No, fuck that, because that's the whole point. Y'all act like this person isn't part of real life. It's like a person, honestly, it's like a person giving out nice toys and shit to kids at a circus or something, a carnival or whatever, and they put a great show on, and you come to find out this person is racist as fuck. You still want to support that person because he does some nice, fuck them. You know what I mean? Simple. I'm just saying, man. Let's be real. Y'all gotta stop acting like these people are good people because y'all want to believe that they are. Nah, man. Nah, it's bullshit. But anyways, yeah, I love what I see happening over there, man. And right now, out of everything going on, You know, the FTR stuff is interesting. Stokely's an asshole, man, because he make me want to punch him in the face. That means he's doing his job as a heel. I just want to shock him, man. Like, he always... Don Callis, that motherfucker is like the biggest heel in wrestling, man. Don Callis, every show, if he shows his face in that arena, he get a fuck Don Callis chant, man. That dude is he's another one. He know the facial expressions, everything, how to move. Like, he just knows how to get people to want to just smack that bald head, man. But right now, the two biggest storylines that I'm really intrigued in the most, Kenny Omega and Okada, they have a long history. I mean, I'm looking forward to all the matches they have advertised right now as well. You know, eventually the whole show as a whole, and you know, eventually. But yeah, definitely interested in that match. But in terms of who has like the story right now, and see this thing, they all have a story. They all have stories. These two have a history together. And some idiot made a video talking about AEW is holding Okada back. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what? How the fuck are they holding Okada back? Are they supposed to make the whole Dynamite or the whole Collision about fucking Okada? What the fuck are you holding? He's been holding that championship for the longest. AEW fans are aware of his stint in Japan wrestling because of AEW's involvement and them making it known that he is and showing clips and everything. And like, people don't, they really don't understand shit. Talk about how great he was. What the fuck do you mean how great he was? I'm like, yeah, you just a motherfucker that just made a video just to make it. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, are you shitting me? Even the people in his comment section were like, yo, dude, what are you talking about? Like, this is one of those, let me try to shit on AEW and talk about how they hold him back Okada. And I guess he thought he was going to get a whole bunch of people agreeing with him, but people was chewing his ass out because I'm like, bro, like, seriously, what are you talking about? What show are you watching? They're holding him back? Do you realize he has a title too, right? And Okada's kicking ass. He's beating everybody he wrestles. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, you got a roster of like 82 fucking wrestlers, and somehow they're holding him back. Like, anyway. But, yeah, they have a history as well. You know, now, in terms of storyline, their storyline isn't, and they don't, that's the thing. Storylines, I don't want to see everybody doing the same exact shit at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? And so, for the thrill of competition between these two who've beaten each other back and forth, and now they both hold titles and they get ready to go on there. And this is a title for title match, I guess. Hey, man, you know, I think both titles on the line. We'll get more information as the time goes on. But the two biggest storylines right now that I'm most interested in is Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. Now, the match for sure. Storyline-wise, the biggest story for me right now that I'm more interested in overall, the one that get my attention the most is the story between Will Osprey, Hangman Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland. That is the storyline right now that stands out the most to me. I love, like, everything I just said. I love everything that's happening. I'm interested in all of it. But that is like the most intriguing right now to me. Yeah, man, and that's to me what this show is about, man. It's not about everybody doing the same exact thing. When you keep, you know, and people got to understand, man, these shows are weekly. So you have to be creative with everything you're doing. And, you know, I don't like that whole every single week the same guys come in the ring and talk for 35 damn minutes about the same thing. Let's just insult each other and crack jokes on each other. Let's roast each other, but there's no real story. And that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all think it's like, for you to like that, to you it's a story because a guy's sitting here talking about what he did 25 years ago and how he had a dream to become a professional wrestler. He never thought he'd be standing in a WWE ring, and all of a sudden he's been a champion. He main evented WrestleMania, blah blah blah. Ooh, yeah, okay. What the fuck is the story? Now the opponent comes out, and they start roasting each other, going back and forth, and this is a story to you. It turns into, okay, now we're going to have a match at Night of Champions, or we're going to do this, and we're going to, okay, but other than them just talking shit about each other, what's this actual storyline? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a difference when you're making a story. You're going at something's coming out of this because this is what you did. That's why I have a problem with you. Well, my problem with you is because you did X, Y, Z, and this and that. That's not even what I'm seeing with John Cena and CM Punk right now. Like their story don't even make sense to me. They're just talking shit to each other. And somehow Punk is Mr. Righteous, Mr. Y'all gonna make you apologize to all these fans. I'm gonna take this title off you. That title makes you an evil person. That title does. Wait, so even as a face, the title makes you evil, bro. Yeah, man. I don't know. What is it, Jim Carrey? You put the mask on, all of a sudden it start making you do crazy shit. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, yeah, 2 different lanes, 2 different types of storytelling, man. So, yeah, like that bullshit Bully Ray and them be talking about. Yeah, big bro. That makes you a star because you can go in the ring and just talk about nothing. And the fans, because you said some shit. Come on, man. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys right now. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Talk to me in the comment section. Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, Will Osprey. Y'all think they're going to get it together? And he's going to take that title off Moxley? Let me know. Catch you guys on the next video.